Take two. Hopefully I'm actually recording it this time. I just talked for about 10 minutes and realized I was in photo mode instead of video mode. Anyway, thank you for joining my talk today. This is going to be kind of a personal, from the heart recap of who I am, where I am, and why I had to lose 70 some pounds over the last 2 years, and I'm only halfway there. If you'll take a moment and just write a comment down below as to why you actually clicked on this video. Were you surprised that somebody could lose 40 pounds in 2 years? Do you think it's a lot? Do you think it's not a lot? Do you need to do more? Do you need to do less? Just tell me maybe a little bit about your concerns about weight or weight loss in the comments, and that'll really help boost the YouTube algorithm so more people can get shared with this video. And then please hang with me to the end, because that also helps boost the YouTube algorithm. I will try to keep it concise. I'm using a new camera, and I don't know how long it will let me record. I can actually see that I'm recording now, so that's a good point. After being a political event photographer for almost 20 years, I have to say making videos is a new and challenging experience. So please bear with me as I just sit here and talk. I don't know how to splice things together. I don't know how to see my latest video up here or over here or wherever it goes. I keep getting things backwards because I'm looking at myself, but you'll see a lot of them say, oh, well, see my video right here. And they can put a little thing up there when they reference one of the older videos. So I'm just going to have to reference them and hope you're smart enough, which I know you are, to go to my channel and find that one and then watch it if it interests you. But hopefully you've had a minute to make a comment below, and the YouTube algorithm is going, woohoo, here's a good one. Let's share this video far and wide. Another thing that helps with that is subscriptions and either hitting the like or the dislike button. I don't think it really matters to them what it is as long as you do something below the video. Subscribes really help me a lot. They make me feel better. I have to get up to a certain number, a large number, before I can even be eligible to get monetized, which means they'll start paying me for people watching. It doesn't cost you anything. Cost advertisers, just like television. You get to watch it for free and somebody else pays for it. So I need lots of subscribers. I need lots of people to watch the videos until the end, and lots of people to comment to make all these parts come together. And that is one reason I'm using the cameras that I already own, is because at this point there's really nothing in it for me except sharing the research and the life experience I have. And although I do enjoy that and I hope it benefits you, the only reason I'm here is because I hope it benefits you. But 2 or 3 years down the road, I would like to be getting a little bit of revenue in from this time I put into making these videos, which is much more difficult and time consuming than I ever thought it would be. So let's get to the nitty gritty here. August 4th or 5th of 2015, I had a massive stroke that should have killed me. Of course, all that came out afterwards. What precipitated it or when it occurred, I was on a telephone call, sitting in a recliner in my living room with State Representative Bill Zedler, very well-known politician in this Tarrant County area, really throughout the whole state. And he's a little bit older than me, maybe 20 years, and had served in the Vietnam War. So when I started slurring my speech during the phone call, I noticed it. I could tell I was having trouble getting things out, and every once in a while that still happens, but that doesn't mean I'm having a stroke. It may be a reciprocal effect from the stroke, but I have taken lots and lots of steps over the last 5.5 years to try to ensure that I don't have another one. And that's why I started this channel, was to share what I have learned. One of those things is drinking more water, so here's a big gulp of water to keep my throat clear and talking. Okay, I had the stroke. I was on the phone with Representative Zedler. He recognized it over the phone, came over to the house. By that point, I had basically passed out in the kitchen floor. I'd somehow gotten out of the recliner. It was very difficult. I was not huge then. In fact, the hospital put me at 210 pounds when I arrived, or maybe the first visit when I went back. Anyway, right around that time, I was about 210 pounds. I'm 6'1", so that's basically in the overweight but not obese range. But it's still too heavy. He came. I was passed out in the floor in the kitchen, or semi-conscious. I could hear him knocking, and I kept saying, "Give me a second." Maybe like, "Give me a second." Of course, I didn't realize I had already become paralyzed on my whole left side, and I really couldn't talk, and I couldn't project, and he couldn't hear me. So he called my phone, which was sitting beside the recliner, as I had rolled out of the recliner to go to the kitchen to cut the stove off, because I was cooking some chicken and dumplings, chicken and rice, a big pot of soup. And I had just told him on the phone, well, maybe I burnt my tongue tasting it. That's why I'm talking funny. But it turned out it was a very, very major stroke. So I'm very fortunate to be here today talking to you. And I could say something really nasty about doctors in the interim now, but I'm going to refrain from that and just explain what I have learned over the last 5.5 years, but more importantly, what I've learned over the last year to year and a half. Okay, like I said, I didn't really go to doctors before the stroke. I didn't get my cholesterol tested and all that, which you really don't have to do. I'll go into that in other videos, but that's a horrible marker of metabolic health. And actually, the studies that they use to say that you need to have low cholesterol aren't 100% accurate. They were cherry-picked, and real good tests that have been done since then have disproven that heart health philosophy that says you need to be on statins to lower your cholesterol. But the government doesn't want to listen to that because they have their mindset and they're done. But basically, what I've learned through the last year of researching is that the USDA government food guidelines dictate what the doctor can tell you, what the nutritionist can tell you, what you are fed if you're in the military, if you're in a public school, if you're in a nursing home, or if you're anywhere else that the government provides funding. They go by the food pyramid, and that is what's killing this country. Yes, I'm not afraid to say it. The U.S. government almost killed me by following the food guidelines. During the workup when I was in for the stroke, they found out that my internal right carotid artery going up my neck to the brain, yeah, that's my right, even though it looks like the left on the screen, is fully occluded. Good thing you have internal and external carotid arteries on each side. That did not cause the stroke. That was just found during the research to figure out what did cause a stroke. And modern science can't tell you why you had a stroke. They can't tell you what caused it or how you could prevent a particular clot from going to your brain at any given time. So they just put you on pills that slow your blood's ability to make clots and tell you to eat these quote-unquote heart-healthy oils and foods and eat fruits and vegetables. And I'm going into that more in the next video. So I do apologize to my loyal supporters and Facebook fans that are expecting this video to be on the topic of animal fat versus quote-unquote healthy fat. But I figured you need to know a little bit of how I came to research this and then why I believe it so strongly. And a lot of that will be detailed, or the results will be detailed in the next video, so don't lose me. But yes, I have a fully blocked, which is occluded, internal carotid right artery, which means at most I'm getting 75% of the blood to the brain that a normal person gets, but then you throw in that those other three are slightly calcified. The term is arterial sclerosis or arterial sclerosis, I think, which means I have some plaque built up. I've pretty much determined that the plaque buildup is from eating the oils that the U.S. government says you should eat because they are highly oxidized, but here again I'm going to go into that in more detail in the next video. Let's go through some quick stats and how I got to 40 pounds lower than my highest. I said I was 210 at the time of the stroke. Of course, I started an exercise program. I upped my time at the gym, even though I wasn't doing a whole lot of exercise. But over the years since then, I've gotten fit, I've gotten fatter, I've gotten fitter, I've gotten fatter. And I think you can relate to that. I think almost all of us do. But this program at work called Virgin Pulse is part of our wellness program. And they have an app where you can self-enter your weight, your temperature, your blood pressure, those kind of things. So the oldest reading I have on that was in January of 2019, and I was at 258 pounds. I was like the Pillsbury Doughboy Jr. or the Junior Michelin Man. Embarrassed to take my shirt off at the hot tub, just way overweight, and knew that I needed to be to 185. Okay. You may wonder where CP59 Fit came from. If you looked at my very first or second video, I told you 59 was the amount of pounds I had to lose to get to my ideal weight, which I'm now telling you is 185. That has always been my ideal weight. But when I set up CP59 Fit, I was not at 258 pounds. That's 14 pounds higher than the math would make it to get to 185. So really I could have, at my highest, I could have made it CP74 Fit because I have 15 more pounds to go. That's why losing 40 pounds has only gotten me halfway to my goal, but I am in such a groove now. I have changed my life by switching to the carnivore diet that the pounds are almost just melting off. So January of 2019, once you're with the city a month, you get health insurance, and then part of this wellness program is they want you to have a physical at the city health center once a year. So according to those, I'm down 40 pounds also from 2019. That also is a way to help keep track. So if you're starting your journey or you're along your way, be sure to record your current weight, and if you can get your starting weight. At some point I'll show you before and after pictures, but I got to learn how to switch back and forth between the video and the computer before I can do that. So I would say it was almost a year ago. Well, less than a year ago. I think it was July of 2020 when my friend Sheila and I went to Branson. We decided we were going to start on the keto diet on that vacation. And we kind of did. And I had researched it, but didn't really know that much about it. So I started eating more meat, and I'm not a vegetable person. I've never liked vegetables, and I don't often eat fruit either, which is good on this carnivore diet because that's how they recommend it. But we started there, and I lost a little bit of weight. Then I came back and I did more research. I went back to Branson I think Sheila and I went in August, not July. And between August and October, when I went back the next time, I had learned a lot more and decided I was going to do carnivore instead of keto. So I kind of officially started carnivore in October of 2020, which is only, 5 months previous to now. And I don't have on the top of my head what my weight was at that time, but I have lost considerable weight since October. But I did find out through getting on the Verta program, and there are 3 or 4 videos that explain that program and the proper human diet. I'd appreciate it if you watch those. Since I got the scale from Verta on January the 29th, my first weigh-in to now, March the 10th, is about 16 or 17 pounds lost, which is pretty good for a month and a half. So you understand that the 40-pound loss was not even, was not consistent. I was down, I was up. But I had a major health scare. I should have died. They said like 3% of, or 7% of the people that come in with that serious of a stroke never leave the hospital. And I was very fortunate to become unparalyzed in the next 4 hours. And you'd think that would have been enough to make me realize I needed to clean up my health, but I listened to the doctors, and I've come to find out that the great majority of the doctors, nutritionists, and medical advice in this world, because most of the world bases their advice on the U.S. guidelines, is incorrect at best, a flat-out lie at worst. I will go into that more in the next video. But in the meantime, if you haven't already done it, please go below the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you'll be notified every time I come up with a new piece of research that I want to share, or a new weight loss goal, or something like that that I think you would be interested in. Then you'll be notified. And another YouTube factor that really helps is to watch the videos in the first hour, or maybe 2 hours, because that sends the algorithm jumping with its happy dance. So I really appreciate you doing all these things to boost the YouTube algorithm, since in 2 years I hope to have a stream of income from this. Thank you for your time. That's long enough for now. I'll get to the fat video in just a few minutes. I'll try to get this one posted. Thanks. Bye-bye.